Hey, before we begin, is there anyone here that wants to speak on a specific bill? Any guess? Okay. Senator Blunt, Senator McClendon, anybody else? When we get to those bills, just raise your hand, senators, and we'll address those at that time. We have an agenda today. We'll start with House Bill number 1533, Town of Byhalia. This is to reenact the hotel and motel tax. There is language in this bill that would allow them to go back and capture any sales tax that may already be on hand and allow them to appropriate those sales tax dollars for the purposes in this bill, Section 2. Are there any questions about this? This will require a new referendum. Questions? Are there?
So basically,
it expired. Yes, sir. Go ahead, Senator.
So it expired, but the tax.
Department of Revenue normally does not collect the tax, but they could still have some tax on hand. So they would need authorization to renew that, to appropriate that. It's not uncommon for this to happen from time to time. Senator Whaley?
Who would that tax be collected from?
From the town, yes. Any previous sales tax that might have been collected could be appropriated for the purposes in the bill. This is not uncommon. Sometimes when they expire or they need to be reenacted. Don't know, that will be a special referendum. This is not a general referendum, but a special. Any additional questions? It has a 2026 repeal date. If there are any questions, I'll entertain a motion. Heard the motion. Prepared to vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? We'll report that out. Next bill we'll call up is House Bill number 1534, Sunflower County authorized contributions to the Sunflower County Ministerial Alliance Counseling Services, a nonprofit. Does exactly what it says it'll do. It will allow them to make this annually, $40,000 a year until 2026. Board's discretion. Are there any questions? Or motion?
Aye.
Heard the motion. All in favor? Any opposed? That will be reported. House Bill number 1535 is another Sunflower County, Mississippi bill authorizing the county at their discretion to make an $18,000 annual contribution to the Delta Advantage Center. It will repeal in 2026. Questions? Are you prepared to vote? All those in favor? Any opposed? That bill will be reported. Next is House Bill 1536, another Sunflower County, Mississippi. County's authorized to $25,000 annually to the Fannie Lou Hamer Cancer Foundation, a 501(c) nonprofit. It has a repeal date in of 2026. Apparently, Sunflower County is a very generous county. So if there aren't any questions, if you're prepared to vote, all those in favor? Any opposition? Bill will be reported. Call up House Bill number 1565. Senator Blunt, do you wish to be recognized? Senator Blunt, you are recognized to speak on House Bill 1565.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Are you prepared? Do you have any questions? Are you prepared to vote? We have a motion, title sufficient, do pass. All in favor? Any opposition? That bill will be reported. We're going to skip down to House Bill number 1674. Town of Riley, authorize a tax on restaurants to promote tourism, parks, and recreation. This bill authorizes the town of Raleigh to levy a 2% tax on the gross proceeds from restaurants, tourism, and parks. This is a special referendum. It is not a general. This is new legislation. It's double referred. It's not anything unique about it. Are there any questions? Heard the motion. All those in favor? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? We'll report that. Bill number 1694. Call it up. An act to authorize the governing authorities of the city of Gulfport, Mississippi to fund a commission creating under section 2127.11 and 2127.13 to control, manage, and operate a motor vehicle transportation system. Give you an opportunity to look at it. It's just don't have any questions. Yeah, yes, Senator.
You're fine with there not being a repeal date in it, nor is it's just creating a commission. Are there any taxes involved here?
The governing authorities may, at their discretion, contribute, allocate, pledge, or loan, or otherwise provide municipal funds or monies to the commission. If you would feel comfortable, if you want to make a motion to put a repeal date in it, that's fine. But the elected officials of the city.
I'll just give it with that.
Yeah, I mean, the elected officials have to make the appropriation each year if that's what they want to do. Do you have an amendment or do you have a motion?
Title sufficient.
You've heard the motion. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That bill will be reported. I call up House Bill number 1735, City of Oxford, authorize expansion of a water system for certain distance outside the city to serve the Pumpkin Water Association. So what this bill does is the Pumpkin Water Association is going to be co-opted by the City of Oxford, and they're going to create a unified water system. An effort to provide better water to that area. Are there any questions? Senator Whaley, you've heard the motion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? House Bill 1735 will be reported. House Bill 1740. City of Fulton authorize a tax on restaurants to promote tourism, parks, and recreation. This bill is double referred. It's a new tax. The mayor recently elected has requested this. It's our standard language. It is a special referendum. It is not on a general election.
Sufficient to pass.
Now, this is a 3%. This is a 3%, so it's a little more than what we normally do. So I did want to bring that to the committee's attention. There are no debate, no questions. Entertain a motion. You've heard the motion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Report that bill. Call up House Bill number 1742. City of Hattiesburg, extend the repealer on tourism commission, hotel motel tax. Does exactly what it says it's going to do. It extends the repealer to 2027. Heard the motion. All those in favor? Any opposed? That bill will be reported. Call up House Bill 1743, City of Kosciuszko, authorize a tax on restaurants to promote tourism, parks, recreations. Double referred. This is a new tax. Give you just a minute to look over it. This is our normal language. It says only a 2% increase, 2%. It's by special referendum, not a general. Other than that, it's our standard language. Is there any debate? Is there a motion? Heard the motion. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? That bill will be reported. Bill number 1744, Rankin County, authorize contributions to nonprofit organizations that provide recreational sports activities for county youth. So this allows the county to make a $50,000 annual donation as a 2026 repeal date. And this is at the county board's discretion. Is there a motion? Title sufficient. You've heard the motion. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposition? Be reported. 1745. Senator Barr asked for this bill to be considered. George County needs to make a repair to a parking lot for a church. So they do need our authorization. A road washed out, a highway washed out, and MDOT stored their equipment in the church parking lot for staging purposes, and they cut some pretty deep ruts and gouges the weight of the equipment. So they need our authorization to spend the money on private property to make the church whole. That is what this bill does. This is a one-time repair. Now, I did note in here, there is no monetary figure listed. So I guess they're going to spend whatever it takes to make the church whole on this particular case. Discussion. Heard the motion. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? We're going to skip House Bill 1747, go down to House Bill number 1748. Town of Sugar Lock. Authorize of expansion of water services. All right, so this is a little bit unique in the fact that they're going to allow for the town to extend the water system 15 miles outside the corporate limits. That's pretty lengthy. That's pretty far from municipality. So I suppose, that's what they want to do. The Public Service Commissioner will have authority over anything 1 mile outside. So the rates are governed as well by the Public Service Commissioner of that area. Any questions or debate? Heard the motion. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? All right, that'll be reported. House Bill number 1752. Marshall County authorized contributions to Byhalia Area Arts Council. It does exactly what it says it's going to do. They can contribute $1,500 a year at the discretion of the board and has a repeal date of 2026. Are you prepared to vote? You've heard the bold motion. Title sufficient, do pass. All those in favor? Any opposed? That bill will be reported. House Bill number 1755, City of Moss Point, extend date on repealer of city's restaurant tax. It does exactly what it says it's going to do. It just extends the repeal date to 2026. You've heard the motion. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? That bill will be reported. House Bill number 1756, City of New Albany, authorized expansion of its gas system in a certain area outside of its corporate limits. Now, I thought this was a reasonable distance. I did note that the distance, I believe, 5 miles, I think, and to bring gas to those areas. Is there a motion? You've heard the motion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That bill will be reported out. Harrison County, clarify hotel motel tax for Coastal Coliseum Convention Center shall solely be applied to overnight room rentals. Okay, so what's going on here is they're applying the tax to more than just the hotel. So if you stay in a hotel that also has a restaurant, they're applying the tax to the restaurant as well, or you may have an arcade, whatever your total tab is. And so what this does, this language tightens that up and it lets it say that it's just for the hotel or motel room. It does go into defining what the hotel and motel room is. I'll give you a minute to look over it. If you want to discuss it, I do like the bill and what they're trying to do, and it does have a repeal date of 2026. Senator Kirby, a motion? Heard the motion. All those in favor? Any opposed? That bill will be reported out of this committee. House Bill number 1759. Holmes County authorized to provide certain compensation for county parole officers. This enables the Board of Supervisors of Holmes County is authorized at its discretion to compensate the county parole officers in an amount of $1,500 a year. Now, this bill does not have a repeal date, and I think we should put a repeal date in it. So if not, I'll entertain a motion of some kind at this time.
Motion that we add a repealer July 1, 2026.
The motion, any debate on the motion? On the amendment? Okay, all those in favor of the amendment?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. I will entertain a motion of title sufficient do pass as amended. Is there a motion? You've heard the motion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That bill will be reported. Holmes County authorized contributions to the Durant Foundation. Board of Supervisors of Holmes County would like to make an annual donation of at its discretion of $15,000. I do want to say this is a perfect example of I try to work with my colleagues and bring forward every bill. I don't agree with one of the poorest counties in the state giving money to charities. But if that's what their local governing board wants to do, I'm going to support that. So I will entertain a motion. Heard the motion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? They're very charitable people in Holmes County. City of Jackson authorized to continue contributions to Keep Jackson Beautiful. Senate Bill number 2980. Is anyone here who wishes to speak on this bill? Okay. This allows the city of Jackson to make a contribution of $60,000 annually. And it does have a repeal date of 2026. This is one of the programs that Jackson's doing to try to keep the city picked up and clean of trash and debris. Is there a motion? Any debate or a motion? You have a motion of title sufficient do pass. All those in favor? Any opposed? That bill will be reported. Senate Bill number 3202, City of Madison. I believe we have somebody here representing Madison. Mr. Miller, would you please take a seat, use the microphone, and state your name and who you're representing, and you are recognized to explain the bill.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Dennis Miller with the Jones Walker Law Firm. And we have prepared for the city of Madison as their lawyers, a local and private that you have. Madison has been a slow but steady growth city. Since 1987, it has grown from about 7,000 people to nearly 30,000 people. But our economic development has been, when I say slow and steady, it's been deliberate. And some years ago, Madison acquired some substantial acreage just south of Madison Avenue. As you can see, if you can envision where the Sam's Club is right off the interstate going all the way to Highway 51, that is a corridor that many people use. And just to the south, beyond a garden center there, Madison has acquired about 150 acres many years ago and had thought that this would be an area of development for the future. Additionally, Madison lacks a town center. However, Madison in the 80s had a Madison Ridgeland School in the center of town that no longer exists with the building of Madison Central High School. So there's significant area there that the city now controls along with this redevelopment authority. The purpose of this bill is to give those two bodies the authority to deal with that economic development in the future. And that gives them the opportunity to do sale, lease back, to lease, to work with developers, to do what the city has long planned to do. Firstly, to create that town square. And secondly, to create a corridor of commerce in the area that I described as the 150 acres. So this will allow the city to do it in an orderly fashion under the statutes that now exist, the way they created the redevelopment authority, and to do what cities can already do insofar as their bonding authority. That authority already exists. So this creates no revenue. It's merely the path which they intend to follow as they develop Madison.
And being a former alderman, I actually disagree with council about whether or not they even need this legislation. But under the advice of council, the city has chosen to cross every T, dot every I. And so I have taken this bill up. And if you have any questions for Mr. Miller at this time. Senator Whalen, you have a motion? You heard the motion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That bill will be reported. Thank you, Mr. Miller. Senate Bill 3208, Rankin County authorize certain road projects, contract extending for more than 30 days after the term of the current board. So they need our authority to do this because they need our authority to extend these contracts. Supervisors of Rankin County is authorized to discretion. They want the discretion to do this. Any questions? Title sufficient do pass. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That bill will be reported. Okay, we got to be leery of the time. We're going to try to continue to go for another minute. Senator McClendon, you are recognized to address this body on Senate Bill number 3209. City of Hernando authorize elections for restaurant tax to fund capital improvements related to parks and recreation.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Board. City of Hernando signed a proclamation, sent it down with all 7 aldermen as well as the mayor in favor to let the people vote on a 1% tax on restaurants and prepared food, which means convenience stores, delis. It's not on hotels. It's they already have a tax on tourism, which is on hotels. This is strictly for restaurants, for parks and recreation. Totally truthful with this board. Fernando has tried this once before. In 2015, we put the vote to the people. I was on the board at that time. I spent 2 terms on the board of Alderman At that time, it was vague, kind of vague legislation. It wasn't specific. This is going for capital improvements, parks and recreation. It will be a general election in November. If you also see it that this passes. And the uniqueness about this is it will not come back to the legislators. It will be voted on by the people at each municipal elections during the general elections. So they will have another election from November. It'll be 2.5 years, I believe. After that, if it's voted in, yes, 4 years, they vote again. If it's voted in, 4 years, they voted in, so on and so on. I've talked with Capital who oppose these types of tax, and they like this legislation. It's back in the people's hands. And I would ask that y'all say yes, and I want it to be clear that this is not this legislature that's putting a tax on the city of Hernando. It's not the senator that's putting the tax. It's not this chairman. It is just to let the people vote whether they want a 1% tax for parks and recreation. Thank you.
Are there any questions? I like this bill because it goes to the people every 4 years perpetually. I do like this bill. I hope this committee will consider this as the template moving forward. And I want to send this to the House. I want to take this as a barometer to see if this could be something we could do moving forward. This will end the repeal process of so many repealers that we see in these local taxes. Any questions of Senator McClendon? You heard the motion. All those in favor? Any opposed? We'll report that. I'm going to skip Senate Bill 3210 and call up Senate Bill 3211. Meridian Public School District authorized transfer of former school property to Meridian Housing Authority. It does exactly what it says it's going to do. You've heard the motion. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? So I do want to speak. I skipped some bills today. This is not the last time local and private will meet. We will meet again, but because we're up against a timeline, I did skip some bills today. We do have conferees that need to sign, but Senator Tate and I, and I'm sure others, have some other conference reports they need to sign. I would like to recess. Well, what I'd like to do is adjourn, but I would like all the conferees to come back at 2:30 and let's sign those conferences reports. So we can do it for transparency and the media can be present as well. Is there a motion? I'd like to come back at 2:30, but so I would like the motion to be that we recess until 2:30. Motion to recess until 2:30. You've heard the motion. We're in recess.